Hey, good evening, everybody, from the StormTrack 5 Weather Center. I am Chief Meteorologist Dave Dierks. At this very moment, we do not have any severe weather occurring across the viewing area, but we do want to kind of give you an update on the progress of those storms and showers that will potentially bring us some severe weather, especially overnight tonight. We do have that weather alert day in effect through the overnight hours. And joining me right now is meteorologist Teresa Carter. Teresa, we've been keeping an eye on some really potent storms across portions of Kentucky.
Yes.
One in particular that has had a tornado warning with it for a long time, ever since it went from southeast Missouri into portions of now almost into eastern portions of Kentucky. But we do want to bring our viewers up to date here on the new tornado watch that was just issued.
Yeah, we do have a tornado watch that's in effect until 3 to 4 in the morning for all of into Leslie, Letcher, Harlan County, Wise, Lee, Scott, and also now into northeast Tennessee and to Hancock and Hawkins County.
That was the new addition.
That was, yes, that was the new addition until 4
a.m.
4 a.m.
Still does not include the Tri-Cities Metro of Kingsport, though it does bump up into Hawkins County, obviously, there, but does not include Kingsport, Johnson City, Bristol, Abingdon, Greenville, but does include all areas west of there until 4 o'clock in the morning. As I pointed out at the beginning, we do not have really any weather at all, but certainly no severe weather ongoing. But Teresa, I want to bring our viewers' attention to that storm that has been carrying a tornado warning with it for a number of hours now, a couple of hours at least, even longer than that, and it continues to be warned for possibility of a tornado. Radar indicated earlier in western Kentucky there were a couple of, I think, confirmed reports of a touchdown from this, but right now radar indicated rotation with that storm racing off to the east at about 45 miles per hour. So I'll put a track on here for our viewers to see approximately where it's going to be, the dangerous part of the storm, as we get to the next hour.
Right, and like you said, this is going to take at least a good couple hours even to get into our viewing area, because this goes to close to 11 o'clock to Mount Victory, and that is still west of I-75. So the track of this is going to continue to move east or maybe a little bit northeast, but certainly it's moving off to the east about 40 to 45 miles per hour with some wind gusts up to about 50 miles per hour. Hail tracker, we've put this on there, and you can definitely see some larger hail within this storm warned system, that little particular cell.
Yeah, the National Weather Service has been indicating that there could be up to golf ball size hail with that storm now just to the south of Columbia. But as you said, even within an hour from now, it's still west of Interstate 75, but we'll be bearing down on London and Corbin in Kentucky. Now, there are other storms firing up to the northeast. You can see severe thunderstorm warnings to the north of London, to the southeast of Lexington. And then a broader picture shows really the main line that's beginning to come together. There's kind of two segments, but the larger line of storms now stretching from near Louisville, and there are numerous warnings along that. In fact, the entire line of storms has either severe thunderstorm warnings, or there are a couple of cells that are showing rotation. The red polygons there indicating tornado warnings as well along that particular line. So there are the tornado watches. You can see Teresa there, the one in Kentucky till 3 a.m. and the new one that just came across the middle. Portions of East Tennessee, does include Knoxville, also Hawkins and Hancock County until 4 a.m.
This is a big wide storm system, because it's it was into Illinois, Indiana, into Michigan, into Ohio now, all the way down into Louisville, Kentucky, Lexington, just northwest of Nashville, east of Paducah, and then still continuing to really hanging on off to the south into Little Rock, Arkansas. So this is covering a wide range of, a lot of people that this storm is going to be impacting.
System. Yes. Lots of wind energy with it. lots of instability, just a tremendous amount of lift within these storms that have these long-lived supercells that have been, traversing, 100, 200, 300, I don't know how many exactly miles it's been for that one cell that we were talking about. But it's been carrying a tornado warning ever since it was in southeast Missouri, and still has one with it. That one that will be approaching Interstate 75 in Kentucky, around midnight or so, I would guess, maybe.
Yeah. One thing with that particular cell that is just west of I-75 that we're keeping an eye on, we've been saying that it's moving about 40, 45 miles. The storms that moved through our area earlier in the day.
Yeah, this afternoon with all that severe weather in Southwest Virginia.
Yes, those were moving around 60 to even up to 70 miles per hour.
Yeah, they were racing off.
They were really racing very
fast. And folks who may not have been paying a lot of attention to the weather today, because it's not happening, you probably might be like me, may not pay attention to what's going on sometimes. But those storms really raked parts of southwestern Virginia, left northeast Tennessee, the Tri-Cities, almost completely unscathed as far as any storm activity. But those storms did race across southwestern Virginia with generally some quarter-size hail, some wind damage. There was a tornado warning, early mid-afternoon for Wise County. Did not receive any report of a tornado, thankfully, but we did get a number of pictures of hail and also wind damage to trees and so forth. Yes,
we definitely did receive that, and that's going to be the biggest thing that we're going to be looking at. Of course, let's go to what we are in, a level 3 and 4. Well, Lexington is in a level 4 out of 5, but the Tri-Cities and into Kentucky and to a lot of Southwest Virginia in a category 2 and 3. So, these are some storms that have been making a punch, and they're going to continue as they move into our area overnight, and we can take a look at what the main threats are going to be tonight. Are going to be that heavy rain, wind. That is going to be the biggest thing there. I think
straight line damage and wind gusts will probably be the biggest threat, along with some hail potentially up to quarter size. Maybe larger, and if we get any of those stronger cells to come through, some intense rainfall, which may result in some at least localized flooding.
Yes.
Can't rule out an isolated tornado. I do want to throw that out there, even though that's the lower end of the danger impact with this storm. However, we do have some of those cells that are racing very quickly into eastern Kentucky still have a tornado warning with it, so we'll have to watch for that as well. It looks like perhaps that main line that's back to the west of that supercell in eastern Kentucky, that may not get to the Tri-Cities until, let's say, after midnight. Let's say the forecast model timing for that second line that we're talking about between midnight and 5 a.m. from west or northwest to southeast across the viewing area. But I do want to caution those cells that are in eastern Kentucky could move in to the viewing area, especially western portions of the viewing area, if they don't fizzle or if they don't start kind of shifting to the north. They could push in prior to the main line, which that time frame there is 4.
Right. Looking more like, again, about midnight to 5 a.m. Now, the 5 a.m., most of that, the severe threat will be out of the Tri-Cities and more into North Carolina or the East Tennessee mountains.
And at some point, I think in that 5-hour time frame, the storms are going to start weakening.
Right.
At what point that happens is still yet to be determined. We'll show folks here the forecast model here in just a second, but there are the dangers that we will continue to track with it. Got this forecast model in recently, does not pick up on that supercell that is in eastern Kentucky. So this looks like to be the main line that is behind those couple of cells that we were talking about. Still at 11 o'clock, and this might even be pushing it a little bit to the east quicker than it is as well. But nonetheless, beginning to approach southwest Virginia, I think around midnight, maybe a little bit after. Still dry in the Tri-Cities.
Yep. Looking at this particular model, it is looking dry. Now, it will be moving east, getting into the around the Tri-Cities, especially into Gate City area, Jonesville around 1, but certainly into the Tri-Cities, I would say at least a good 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning, and then pushing off. Now you can see where it's turning more into the yellows and a little bit of oranges. That's a lot of heavier rainfall, and that is more into the East Tennessee mountains and of course the North Carolina mountains, and that's around 4 o'clock.
So
and then
the models, this particular model does have kind of between 3 and 5.
Right.
The weakening take place and also beginning to shift by 5 south and east of the Tri-Cities. And look how quickly, Teresa, that it really just comes to an end.
Yeah, by 7
o'clock.
it's out of here and we are dry. So we just got to get through the next few hours over, you know, a good 5 hours, and then we are going to be pretty much dry and not a bad weekend shaping up. Now, rainfall amounts, most everyone should be anywhere from about 3/4 up to an inch, inch and a half. A little bit lesser amounts towards the 1/2 inch mark, more into the North Carolina, which they do need a break because they had
3-7, some spots locally had over a 1/2 foot of rain.
Yes,
earlier this
yeah,
week.
that's a lot of rain to be dealing with in a very short time. But nonetheless, we are going to possibly see some localized flooding. We do have a flood watch in effect right now. It is just for Leslie, Letcher, Harlan, Buchanan, and Dickinson counties through early Saturday morning. But certainly we could see some localized flooding elsewhere. Precipitation rates, very heavy rainfall.
And this is for mainly Tri-Cities. It will be sooner
Right.
than this western areas.
Yes.
But for the Tri-Cities, looks like our better chance of stronger storms and intense rain, possible severe weather, probably around or after 1 o'clock, thereabouts. Be ready before then, should it pick up some speed, but that's kind of the way it looks like now. The heaviest activity coming in after midnight and then winding down and turning, you know, non-severe by 5 a.m.
Right.
and probably sooner for some areas at that point in time. But really the dangerous part of this storm is the fact that it is coming in at night. And a lot of folks are going to be thinking about heading off to bed, which is a very logical thing to do at that time frame. But we do encourage people to have ways of accessing warnings. We will be here. Kid Alexander is going to be coming in. I'll be sticking around. You'll be sticking around, and we'll be breaking in, if necessary, onto News 5 with coverage as well, and bring those updates on YouTube and Facebook as well.
So,
but of course, you can get the latest alerts, forecast, future radar from our StormTrack 5 weather app.
Exactly. If you don't have a weather radio, this is a good thing to have as well.
Weather radio is an excellent source.
Yes, it is.
Excellent source. Your cell phone is as well.
But you can also track those thunderstorms moving into your area with the StormTrack weather app.
Exactly.
So,
and one other thing, of course, this may be more difficult at night, and we absolutely do not encourage folks to take pictures or get video if there's a storm happening.
Right.
If there's any chance there would be power lines down, don't even go outside. You know what I'm saying? We don't encourage you to try to get pictures or videos.
No, definitely. But when you were talking about the power, we could see some power outages.
That's certainly a possibility. We had some trees on power lines with that initial line of storms.
And especially if these are straight line winds, that they can do a lot of damage. So just be prepared for that as well.
But getting to this graphic here, we do like, and one way we can tell the story is the pictures and video that you shared with us, for example, from this afternoon storms. You helped us out with that. And we would like to get your input, your weather reports, via our WCYB.com Chime In app. You can upload your pictures and video there as well. All
right. Well, thank you for watching, and please stay safe, stay weather aware for tonight.
And we'll see you coming up on News 5 at 11 o'clock.